What's up, guys? Thought I'd share something with you I've been thinking a lot about of late. I read at the end of Matthew in the New King James, New King Jimmy, there was a particular sentence in there from commentary saying that the Christian faith depends on the dead body of Christ being resurrected. My faith doesn't. My faith depends in the living Elohim, Yahweh, and his Son presently sitting at the right hand of the Father. You know, before he gets sent back to whoop up on everybody. Of course, if I saw what was going on in this world, I'd be pretty pissed too. I digress. I've been thinking a lot about where this idea originated, why this idea has come about. If anybody knew the particular biblical author individual I have been testing and studying a lot of late, last 6 months, maybe slightly less, I think I know who is responsible for the dispensational Christians uttering such a sentence. Because 1 Corinthians 15 verses 12 through 17 make it abundantly clear that if his body was not resurrected and if his body was not brought back to life by the Father, then our faith is, quote, futile. Which is interesting. It's very curious to me why we would hang our faith on something like a beat up, mangled, whipped, crucified old shell being brought back to life. Your faith is futile if you don't believe Jesus was brought back to life. Resurrection of life and spirit is one thing, but the reanimation of a body is something completely different. Now, I'm not trying to say that I don't think Jesus, Yeshua, did not reappear to his apostles after his death. I believe the Gospels that he did. I personally am beginning to suspect and feel like he came back in his resurrected body, the new body that we all are supposed to receive when we enter the kingdom, right? This old flesh dies, we're made new thanks to him and Father in a new creation, a new body. I personally think that he may have come back in that body, not in his former beat up, mangled, crucified body. So this idea of the whole Christian faith and all of that resting upon the premise and idea that his former flesh was reanimated and brought back to life is just, it's something that I'm having a hard time with of late, because I personally am starting to suspect, was this implemented in a brilliant tactic by the enemy and his emissaries to throw everybody off? You know, what better way to completely corrupt the good news that came to us by way of Messiah and that was then taught by Messiah's true apostles? Why would there then be seemingly another apostle saying that our entire faith is futile if he was not killed and resurrected in the former flesh? It doesn't make any sense. So is it possible maybe that idea and that premise was artificially injected into the faith because the very individual who promoted it the most heavily Was one maybe possibly playing the body snatcher? Is it possible? Is this why that the truth of Christ is in me? I don't know. I'm just a dude asking questions. But what I will say is it's somewhat disturbing to me, based off the research I've been doing, that I believe it is possible there may have been an individual or individuals running around the Middle East in ancient times, and this individual went by many different names, and one of them could have been several nefarious characters that we know, some that could have been nefarious but we think were legit and benevolent. I don't know. But we do know that there were certain people who were in royal families and dynasties who were tight with the Roman authorities. And all I'm asking is it possible? I'm not saying this is provable. If it was provable, I'd say so. But is it possible that somebody played the tale of the body snatcher and thieved Messiah's corpse and then snuck it off somewhere, squirreled it away, and then established and promoted an entire religion that was hung on this idea that his former flesh was resurrected? What if that was all purposefully designed in order to later, when certain systems were put into place and when certain characters were ready to come back onto the scene, they end up revealing, as I've heard, they're planning to, revealing undeniable genetic and scientific proof that Yeshua, Jesus, Messiah, was just a man. He was no God, he was no divine being, he was just another rabbi, another teacher, ascended teacher, if you believe the New Age spiritualists. And that's it. He was not the Son of God, because here's our undeniable scientific genetic DNA proof showing that he was just a human being. Would that destroy the entire Christian faith? Because supposedly the Vatican has such a secret that someday will be unveiled to completely destroy not just the Christian faith, but all the faiths of the world. Any monotheistic faith anyway, which obviously originated with Abram. Anyway, I don't know, just thinking out loud makes a guy wonder, what if we've all been duped? What if for 2,000 years everybody has been fed this total and utter lie? They're hanging their faith on this lie and the liar, and maybe not this generation, maybe some other remote future generation. I think the possibility is becoming increasingly greater that it's this one. I don't know. I'm no prophet. I'm just a dude. But I think we have to entertain the possibility that the enemy has already fooled quite a great many of us, even the very elect. People don't really understand that the enemy has absolutely no vestige in trying to fool or pull the wool over the world's eyes. The world is already into him. He doesn't have to go after the world. The world is on his side already. So who's the greatest threat to him? Who is he going to expend the most energy, the most emissaries, and most agents in his company to try and subvert, trick, fool, and lead astray? It is the elect. Guarantee you. It's the elect. So we better be on our guard. We better start asking the hard, uncomfortable questions now. Not tomorrow, not when the football game's over, not after the election. There's way more things in this life that are becoming increasingly more important than elections. Think about it.